Music has given me peace. I can remember occasions when music instantly tranquilized my mind when I was greatly agitated over something. Music has helped me to overcome anger. These are the words of Mahatma Gandhi. I'm sure all music lovers on board would agree with me on this. Let us begin this beautiful day with the song Shanti Nilava Vendum, meant as a tribute to Mahatma for his selfless service to the nation. I invite Miss Gayatri Devi of ECE final year to render the prayer song. Over to Gayatri Devi.
சாந்தி நிலவ வேண்டும், எங்கும் சாந்தி நிலவ வேண்டும், உலகிலே சாந்தி நிலவ வேண்டும், ஆத்ம சக்தி ஓங்க வேண்டும், உலகிலே சாந்தி நிலவ வேண்டும். காந்தி மகாத்மா கட்டளை அதுவே, கருணை ஒற்றுமை கதிரொளி பரவி சாந்தி நிலவ வேண்டும். கொடுமை செய்திடுவோர் மனமது திறந்திட, நற்குணமது புகட்டிடுவோம். மடமையச்சம் மறுப்போம், மக்களின் மாசிலா நல்லொழுக்கம் வளர்ப்போம். திடம் தரும் அஹிம்சா யோகினம் தந்தை, ஆத்மானந்தம் பெறவே கடமை மறவோம், அவர் கடன் தீர்ப்போம், கலங்கமில்லறம் வளர்ப்போம். எங்கும் சாந்தி நிலவ வேண்டும், உலகிலே சாந்தி நிலவ வேண்டும், ஆத்ம சக்தி ஓங்க வேண்டும், உலகிலே சாந்தி நிலவ வேண்டும். எங்கும் சாந்தி, எங்கும் சாந்தி, எங்கும் சாந்தி.
Thank you, Gayatri. The beautiful lyrics, accompanied by your soothing voice, definitely filled us with peace. A keen involvement in the work given and showing genuine interest will surely result in success. The program in front of you is the result of involvement and commitment of many, like Dr. Vijaya, Professor and Head, Department of Chemistry, and one of the organizing committee members of this student induction program. I'm glad to welcome her to deliver the welcome address. Please, ma'am.
Good morning and my warm welcome to all. I'm Dr. Vijaya, Professor and Head of the Department of Chemistry. It's an honor and privilege for me to do the pleasant task of welcoming you all for the inaugural ceremony of online student induction program for first year BE BTech students. First and foremost, my sincere welcome to our respected chairperson, Tirumati Dhanlakshmi Ammal. I have great pleasure in welcoming our Honorable Pro-Chairman, Rotarian Thiru R.S.K. Raghuram, a great leader, mentor, persistently emphasis in producing quality engineers with values, skills, and creativity. Welcome, sir. I extend my sincere welcome to our principal, Dr. D. Vasudevan, the guiding principle behind every activity of our institution. Welcome, sir. I am immensely glad to announce that this program is going to be highly colorful with the presence of charismatic personalities from various domains. Every day, this program is going to be unique and splendid in its own way, with our specially chosen eminent guest speakers who are going to inspire the student participants by their informative and motivational speech. I wholeheartedly welcome the guest speakers Mrs. Anuradha Sriram, playback singer. Mr. M. Balaji, Indian Army. Mrs. D. Vijayalakshmi, Assistant Vice President, HR and Operations, United Techno, Chennai. Dr. S. Krishna Kumar, Senior Technical Officer, DRDO, Chennai. Professor M. K. Damodaran, Ulaga Samudaya Sangam, Arivuthirukoil, Dindigul. Dr. R. Tamil Selvi, Professor of Yoga, Kambam. Mr. K. Trinavukarasu, Administrative Officer, LIC, Udumalpet. Mr. Ganesh Kumar, Founder, EQ Universe Learning Solutions Private Limited, Chennai. Mr. S. Balasubramanian, Deputy Station Master, Southern Railway. Dr. V. Tyagarajan, Professor of English, Coimbatore. And Dr. Usha Iswaran, CEO of SICK Organization. I welcome all the heads of departments and faculty members and the technical crew who have extended a great support and cooperation for the conduct of this program. It's my duty to welcome Dr. R. Kannan, Professor and Head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, advisor of this program, who is going to give a talk on Introduction on SAP. Most importantly, I am overjoyed to welcome the new members of PSNA family. Dear students, new beginnings are always exciting. We are also equally excited to have a new bunch of students added to this amazing community. Educating the mind without educating the heart is of no education at all. We are made of goodness, we are made of love, we are made of togetherness, we are made of friendliness. A good mind and a good heart are always formidable combinations. Hence, to start with, this 5-day induction program have been arranged to help the freshers to understand their responsibility as a good human being, citizen, and as an engineer. Let this first day set the theme of success and positive action to echo throughout your college life. Welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Selecting the right person for the right job is a lot more important than any other strategy for success of any endeavor. In that way, it is so appropriate that Dr. R. Kannan, Professor and Head, Department of Mechanical Engineering, was entrusted with the responsibility of the overall arrangement of this program. I think he'll be the very apt person to brief you all about the student induction program. Over to Dr. Kannan. Please, sir.
A very warm good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of PSNA College of Engineering and Technology, I welcome all the persons online. I am here to explain about the student induction program, which is made as a mandatory process from AICTE. All India Council for Technical Education have insisted all the engineering colleges to go with this student induction program, which will make the learning process a whole thing. Karka kasadara karpavai katrabin nirka adarku taga. So this student induction program, since it is being listened by parents also, I am going to take this as a bilingual in both in English and Tamil. The background of student induction program, actually the student induction program to train the graduates in their respective branch of study to have a holistic outlook towards life and have a desire to work for national needs. What is meant by holistic? That is the holistic outlook. When we do, எதையுமே நம்ம செய்யும் பொழுது ஒரு முழுமையான செயலாக செயல்பட வேண்டும். படித்தோம், எழுதினோம், பாஸ் பண்ணோம் இல்லாம ஒரு holistic outlook should be there. That is the reason why this program is there. The graduating student must have excellent knowledge and skills in the area of his study. Knowledge மட்டும் பத்தாது, skills ஒவ்வொரு செயல்பாட்டிலையுமே அதுக்குரிய திறமைகள் வேண்டும். இதையும் கொண்டு வருவதற்காக தான் இந்த மாதிரி ஸ்டூடெண்ட் இண்டக்ஷன் ப்ரோக்ராம் அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். However, he must also have broad understandings of society and relationship. பாடம் மட்டுமே இல்லாம சொசைட்டி, நம்ம சமூகம் எப்படி இருக்கு, அதுல சமூகத்துக்கும் நமது மாணவர்களுக்கும் உரிய உறவு முறைகள் எப்படி இருக்கு, அதை எப்படி இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்றது, இதெல்லாம் வந்து ஒரு பேக்ரவுண்ட் ஆஃப் திஸ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் இண்டக்ஷன் ப்ரோக்ராம். Character needs to be nurtured as an essential quality by which he would understand and fulfill his responsibility as an engineer, a citizen and a human being. ஒருத்தர் வந்து இன்ஜினியர் ஆகிறது மட்டும் ஒரு கல்லூரியின் கடமை அல்ல, அதோட நல்ல சிட்டிசன், ஒரு நாட்டின் நல்ல குடிமகனாகவும் மனிதனாகவும் உருவாக்குவது இதன் முக்கிய நோக்கம். Besides the above, several meta skills and underlying values like UHV, universal human values, are needed. இதெல்லாம் கொண்டு வர்றதுக்கு உலகளாவிய மனித மதிப்புகள் அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு புதிய டாபிக். அந்த டாபிக்ல வந்து இன்னைக்கு நிறைய பேர் அதுல நிறைய டெவலப்மெண்ட்ஸ் நடந்துகிட்டு இருக்கு. இந்த யூனிவர்சல் ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸையும் நமது மாணவர்களுக்கு கற்பிப்பது என்பதன் இதன் நோக்கம். இப்ப யூனிவர்சல் ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸ் அப்படின்னா என்ன, அதோட அப்ஜெக்டிவ்ஸ், நோக்கம் என்ன, அப்ஜெக்டிவ்ஸ் என்ன அப்படிங்கிறது இதோட முக்கியமான விஷயம். To help students distinguish between value and skills and understand the need, basic guidelines, content and process of value education. இத பாத்தீங்க, இந்த பாயிண்ட் பாத்தீங்கன்னா value and skills and understand the need, basic guidelines, அடிப்படையான சில வழிமுறைகள், வழிகாட்டுதல்கள் வேண்டும். அதோட content, process of value education, மதிப்பு கல்வி அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு புதிய ஃபீல்ட். The value education is very important. நம்ம படிக்கிறது மட்டும் இல்லாம வேல்யூ, ஒரு படிக்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு மதிப்பு கூட்டணும், அதுவும் இதோட ப்ராசஸ். To help students initiate a process of dialogue within themselves to know what they really want to be in their life and profession. அவங்க வந்து really want to be, இது முக்கியமான விஷயம். அவங்க என்னவா ஆகணும்னு நினைக்கிறாங்களோ அதுவாகவே ஆகணும். அதுதான் அதோட லைஃப்லயும் ப்ரொஃபஷன்லயும் அப்பதான் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்க முடியும். இதுவும் இந்த யூனிவர்சல் ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸ் முக்கியமான ஒரு குறிக்கோள். To help students understand the meaning of happiness and prosperity for human being. மாணவர்களுக்கு வந்து ஹாப்பினஸ், ப்ராஸ்பரிட்டி ஃபார் அ ஹியூமன் பீயிங், ஒரு மனிதனுக்குரிய சந்தோஷம்னா என்ன, சந்தோஷம்ங்கிற அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங்கே மாறிடுச்சு. அதெல்லாம் இல்லாம ஒரு சந்தோஷத்தின் உண்மையான அர்த்தத்தை புரிய வைத்தது இது ஒரு முக்கிய நோக்கம். அடுத்தது, to facilitate the students to understand harmony at all levels of human living and live accordingly. மனிதன் வாழ்க்கையில வாழும் பொழுது எல்லா நிலையிலும், அவன் குழந்தையாக இருக்கிறான், பள்ளி மாணவனாக இருக்கிறான், கல்லூரி மாணவனாக இருக்கிறான், அதற்கப்புறம் ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷனலா ஆக்குறோம். நம்ம ப்ராசஸ், நம்ம காலேஜில் நடக்கிற ப்ராசஸ், பள்ளி மாணவனை கல்லூரி மாணவனாக இருக்கும் பொழுது அவனோட மதிப்பு கூட்டுதல் நடந்து அவனை வந்து வாழ்க்கையில சொசைட்டில ஒரு நல்ல மனிதனாக உருவாக்க வேண்டும். அதான் முக்கியமான பாயிண்ட். அது இதுல யுனிவர்சல் ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸ் வில் டூ தட். To facilitate the students in applying the understanding of harmony in existence in their profession and lead an ethical life. Ethical life, ethics அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்ற ஒரு சிறப்பான ஒரு வேர்ட். எத்திக்கல் லைஃப். எத்திக்கல் லைஃப் நம்ம வாழ்றதுக்கு நம்ம ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கு கற்றுக் கொடுக்கணுங்கிறது இதோட முக்கியமான குறிக்கோள். யுனிவர்சல் லிஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் இது பண்ணும் பொழுது ஸ்டூடெண்ட் இண்டக்ஷன் ப்ரோக்ராம் ஏஐசிடி பண்ணணும்னு சொன்னப்ப என்னென்ன ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ்னு அவங்க லிஸ்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. நம்பர் 1 பிசிக்கல் ஆக்டிவிட்டி, உடல் சம்பந்தப்பட்ட ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ். கிரியேட்டிவ் ஆர்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் கல்ச்சர், ஆர்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் கல்ச்சர்ல என்னென்ன திறமைகள் இருக்கோ அதை யூஸ் பண்ணணும். மென்டரிங் அண்ட் யூனிவர்சல் ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸ். நான் யூனிவர்சல் ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸ் பத்தி இப்பதான் சொன்னேன். மென்டரிங்கிறது வந்து ஒரு மாணவன் வந்து ஒருத்தரை வந்து முன்னுதாரணமா எடுப்பாங்க, ரோல் மாடல் சொல்லுவாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி மென்டரிங் சிஸ்டம் காலேஜ்ல இருக்கிற பொழுது ஒரு பேராசிரியர் வந்து அவருக்கு வழிநடத்தி செல்லுதல் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். ஃபெமிலியரைசேஷன் வித் காலேஜ் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் பிரான்ச்ல ரொம்ப ஃபெமிலியரைஸ் ஆயிடணும். லிட்டரரி ஆக்டிவிட்டி, இங்கிலீஷ் லாங்குவேஜ் அல்லது ஒரு போயம் பத்தி, ஒரு கவிதைகள், இது எல்லாத்தையும் பத்தி தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். ப்ரொஃபிஷியன்சி மாடியூல்ஸ், ப்ரொஃபஷனலி we has to get some knowledge in that. Lectures and workshops by eminent people. Visits in local area, நம்ம எந்த ஏரியால காலேஜ் இருக்கோ அதை சுத்தியில் உள்ள முக்கியமான இடங்களை அவன் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு முக்கியமான பார்ட். எக்ஸ்ட்ரா கரிக்குலர் ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ், கடைசியா ஃபீட்பேக் அண்ட் ரிப்போர்ட் ஆஃப் த ப்ரோக்ராம். இதுதான் வந்து லிஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் ஆஃப் எஸ்ஐபி. இதுல வந்து பார்ட்னர்ஸா இருக்கிறவங்கன்னு சொல்லி ஒரு லிஸ்ட் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க, ஏஐசிடியே கொடுத்துருக்கு. நம்பர் 1 ஹெட் ஆஃப் த இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன், நம்பர் 2 இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் ஃபங்க்ஷனரிஸ், நம்பர் 3 ஃபேக்கல்டி மென்டார்ஸ், number 4 student council and association, number 5 selected senior students, number 6 selected alumni, number 7 civil society, number 8 invited distinguished people. இவங்க எல்லாரோட ரோலும் இதுல ரொம்ப முக்கியமானது. நாங்க ஃப்ரேம் பண்ணும் பொழுது இது எல்லாத்தையும் மனதில் வச்சு நம்ம ஃப்ரேம் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அதோட டோட்டல் அவுட்லைன் மட்டும் கொடுத்துருக்கேன். இப்ப ஸ்டூடெண்ட் இண்டக்ஷன் ப்ரோக்ராம் ஃபார் 2020-21 போன வருடம் வந்து நம்ம பண்ண ப்ரோக்ராம் வந்து பிசிக்கலா பண்ணோம், காலேஜ்லேயே பண்ணோம். ஒரு வாரம் ப்ரோக்ராம், எல்லா கெஸ்ட்ஸையும் நேரில் வரவழைச்சு இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் விசிட்ஸ், பக்கத்தில் இருக்க ஊர்களுக்கு கூட்டு போகிறது, பக்கத்தில் உள்ள ஹிஸ்டாரிக்கல் பிளேசஸ் கூட்டு போகிறது, இது எல்லாமே பண்ண முடிஞ்சது. ஆனால் இப்போ பண்ண முடியல. அதனால ஆன்லைன்ல என்ன பண்ண முடியுமோ அந்த அளவுக்கு பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம். இது வந்து டே 1 லெஃப்ட் சைடில் இருக்கிறது, ரைட் சைடில் இருக்குது டே 2 யார் யார் கெஸ்ட் ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸ் பேசுறாங்கன்ட்டு. டே 3 and day 4. This is day 5. So 24 varakum we have this student induction program. And to the summary, the graduates the graduating student must have values as human being and knowledge and meta skills related to his profession as an engineer and as a citizen. The SIP is designed to make the newly joined students feel comfortable, sensitize them towards exploring their academic interests, reducing competition and making them work for excellence, promote bonding with them, build a relationship between teachers and students, give a broader view of life and building of character. அதாவது மொத்தத்துல சொன்னோம்னா ஒரு குணம், பண்புகளை கட்டமைத்தல் தான் இதோட முக்கியமான நோக்கம். The UHV component, which acts as an anchor, it develops awareness and sensitivity, feeling of equality, compassion and oneness, draw attention to society and nature, and character to follow through. UHV, Universal Human Values, அவேர்னஸ், ஃபீலிங் ஆஃப் ஈக்குவாலிட்டி, சமமா ட்ரீட் பண்றது, ஒன்னஸ், ஒரே குலம் ஒரே தேவன் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரியான விஷயங்கள், டிரா அட்டென்ஷன் டு த சொசைட்டி அண்ட் நேச்சர், இயற்கையும் நம்ம சமூகத்தையும் நல்லா பாதுகாக்கணுங்கிற எண்ணங்கள், இது எல்லாத்தையும் கொண்டு வர்றதா இதோட முக்கியமான நோக்கம். It also connects students with each other and with the teachers so that they can share any difficulty they might be facing and seek up. வாழ்க்கையில எதிர்கொள்ளும் எந்த ஒரு ப்ராப்ளத்தையும் எதிர்கொள்ள தெரியணும் மாணவர்களுக்கு. அந்த எதிர்கொள்ளும் திறமை மாணவர்களிடம் மாணவிகளிடம் வளர்க்கிறது தான் இதோட முக்கியமான குறிக்கோள். மிக்க நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you very much, sir, for elucidating everything about the purpose of this SIP in an easy to understand manner. Thank you. As Dr. Kannan mentioned, mere degree is not enough to carry you the whole distance. Your degree is just like the pizza base. You cannot relish it without topping on it, right? Your skills and values are like that to your degree. You cannot enjoy the benefits of your degree without them. Thank you, sir. Next, I'm delighted to invite Dr. D. Vasudevan, our beloved principal, the guiding principle behind every activity of our college, to address you all. Please, sir.
Most respected pro-chairman of the institute, the guest speaker, the faculty coordinators for this student induction program, the students, a very warm good morning to one and all. And really I'm happy indeed to be here on the inauguration of this student induction program. The very basis for this program is to prepare the students from their school life to professional studies in the professional college. Yesterday, in the inaugural address itself, I had come out with 2 points. How a college education, that is to professional college education, differs drastically with school education. 1 or 2 points I had highlighted yesterday, which includes the very basis, that is, in the professional colleges, we insist outcome-based education, where in the previous years in the schools, you would have come across with output-based education, where your end results, marks, cut-off marks, ranks will be only viewed. But it is not so in the professional college. The very purpose of entering the professional college, that is to like engineering college, is to become first an employable engineer, then to become a successful practicing engineer. A successful practicing engineer may be an entrepreneur also, who will be an employment provider to the society. That is the outcome what we want. In order to prepare you for that, only the student induction program is done, and it is a base which will shift you from school education to college education, and for that only in the coming 5 days you will be prepared. And I think this is the right point of time to come out with a few basic views which you should know at this point of life. Because when we were entering the institutes, these type of student induction programs are not there, where we will be directly exposed to the professional college classes. Because of that, we lacked some views. We had taken even to in 1 year, the first year, the second year and all, we had viewed the engineering education as a school education, and we just attending the class, doing the assignments, answering taking part in the classes, attending the test, and preparing for the test and scoring for the marks. And that view is, I'll not say it is completely wrong, but you should know that over and above the curriculum studies, you are supposed to develop yourself in many fronts in order to become an employable engineer, later after that become a successful engineering professional. For that, I'll come up with some 6 points which you should bear in mind. One thing is, when you study a subject in professional curriculum, we will be calling that as a course. When you study a course, you collect knowledge, not marks. Your full concentration should be on collecting the knowledge only, not scoring very high marks. I will not say marks are not important. By collecting the knowledge, you should score marks. That is what we want. So there is no correlation between, if you later part of the life, if you see a person scoring 85% mark will become a very good engineer in the latter part of life. No such guarantee is there. For becoming a very good practicing engineer, there is not much correlation between the quantum mark and your performance in engineering profession. What shapes you is that depth of knowledge, and this how to gain knowledge. The gaining knowledge is questioning in the classroom and discussing with the teachers, peers, till you understand and get the satisfied answer. So you concentrate on collecting the knowledge than collecting the marks. The second point of is, while studying the professional course, you concentrate on collecting your expertise in skills. You should not satisfied only collecting the knowledge. You should concentrate on collecting the skills. The slide what I show will depict to a Tamil film, Vedam Pudidu. In this, a small scene is pictorially depicted to you. Later, when the classes are started, the physical classes have started, I will give you a very good elaborated physical lecture on this. What is to be concentrated is, you during the course of studying, you should collect at least few skills which are very essential for your life as well as profession. So when you are doing first two parts, getting a good knowledge and collecting a proper expertise in a skill which world wants, you automatically become employable. But nowadays, what all corporate leaders are commenting about the academia is the engineering graduates are not employable. When you do these two things, you'll become employable. Just getting an employment is not our goal. What we want you is you should be a successful engineering graduate, not only an employable engineering graduate. Because we had done that, that's why we are speaking. Last year, if we take our records, out of 1,100 eligible graduates, 1,070 graduates are employed. So we know how to make you employable. For making you employable, you collect knowledge and collect one skill, what the engineering profession needs, then you will get a job. But we want a little bit more. The next thing is you collect networking, you do networking, you collect friends. Collecting the friends is not increasing number of followers in the social media. It is something little bit more where you should have a personal touch, and because of that personal touch you should be able to do the things what you want. Because for that, this and engineering and the college life is a excellent period where you can inculcate a very good network, which in later part of your life you can use it for a or for becoming a successful professional. And next thing is, many people what they feel difficulty in the latter part of the life is when they become more productive in the profession, like 45 years or 50 years, they become, the challenge becomes, the health becomes their biggest challenge. For that also, that should be a lot of preparation is needed. You should, in the initial years itself, inculcate and practice a good healthy lifestyle. For that also, this student induction program will pave way. Lot of programs on yoga, and we are having a lot of sports field, and how to lead have a healthy habits, and a lot of our speakers will guide you. You take advantage of it and grab the opportunity and just learn how to live healthy. And when you do a practice, say for example, when you join a club, when you do an activity, a lot of clubs we are having, like robotics club, Society of Automotive Engineers, Energy Club, like that we are having a lot of professional clubs, and a lot of competitions will be going on in the campus. In all these things, you should involve yourself. The purpose is to gain experience than rewards. Because gaining experience will pave way to accomplish things in latter part of the life. Just getting a rewards will not do that. In fact, when you get a reward, you will get satisfied. You further will not practice. So whenever you join any sports activity or any club activity or any official co-curricular and extracurricular activities, your aim is to get experience only, and that part will be also dealt in the student induction program. And after following everything, there should be one thing which will interest you, which will be actually you will love that job. It is an individualistic, it is not a generalistic. I cannot say a person coming from Madurai will have this taste. It is like that, I cannot generalize. It is a individualistic. That individual interest and individual ability and individual taste should be identified by you during your college education itself. And you, when you go out or when you going at the verge of going out of the institution itself, you should identify that interest, taste, purpose. What we call is that is it is the purpose for which you are created. That purpose you should identify and you start practice that purpose. For example, you will be interested in the research, then you can become a research scientist. You can follow that path. You can take up employment there. Don't worry about the salary. When you start practicing your purpose, salary will not affect your mind. You will get job satisfaction. Because of that job satisfaction, the earnings will be more and you will be having a better fulfilled life. So if you want to become interested in marketing, you become a marketing engineer. When you want to become having an interest in the programming, you become a programmer. That is the very key part for your success in the life. So you take these 6 points, and in the coming days, a lot of eminent personalities will be giving many things. Whatever class you attend, whatever course you undergo, whatever practice lesson you take, you keep these 6 points in your mind and grab things accordingly, and you should become not only a employable engineer, and you should become a very successful engineer in your professional life. Best wishes for you in the coming days, and have a happy student life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words of wisdom. Your words will definitely serve as the signpost for the next step in the student's life. Now, we have come to the most interesting part of the agenda. As we all know, joining us today is a superwoman and an amazing personality, one of the leading playback singers of India, Kalai Mamani, Dr. Anuradha Sriram. Madam Anuradha has specialized in Carnatic music and has sung in over 1,000 concerts worldwide. She has sung more than 2,000 songs in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, and Hindi films and 6 North Indian languages. From Anbendru Marayile to Appadi Podu, she can sing any genre so effortlessly. Madam has been honored with many prestigious awards and recognition for her incredible voice and extraordinary singing style. To mention a few, Tamil Nadu State Award for Best Female Playback Singer, Karnataka State Film Awards for Best Playback Singer, Vocational Excellence Award for the Rotary Club of Coimbatore Midtown, International Tamil Film Awards, West Bengal State Award for the Best Playback Singer, Filmfare Award for the Best Playback Singer. The list goes on and on. Above all, she was honored with Tamil Nadu State Kalai Mamani Award for her significant contribution to the field of music in 2006. She was conferred with honorary doctorate by the Satyabama University for her accomplishments and contribution to the field of music. Dear Madam Anuradha Sriram, we are highly honored and extremely delighted to have such a sensational singer with us today, ma'am. I am personally very happy and excited to invite you to enlighten us on the topic Kalayum Kalviyum. Over to Dr. Anuradha Sriram. Please, ma'am.
Yes. எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். Very, very good morning. Can you hear me? Everything is clear? The visual
Yes,
and the
ma'am.
audio? Okay. First of all, let me thank the PSNA management for this wonderful opportunity to address all the students. This is the Student Induction Program 2020, and this is the first day of the induction program I see. And I'm really honored to be the first celebrity speaker. I just happened to log in a little earlier, so I was hearing the 6 pointers. Actually, inniki naaliki Mahasashti. So, you know, when you talk about Murugan, Lord Muruga, it's about 6 faces, right? So beautifully, your professor explained to you, you know, the head of the institution had explained to you how these 6 points of how you need to acquire skills, experience, so many different points, you know, and so you see the kind of visionary they are. And I was sent a brochure of the university, and I saw that it is spread over a sprawling 150 acres, and there is almost an independent block for every department. And you have about 142 professors who have PhD, and the remaining 150 professors are pursuing a PhD, which speaks volumes about the kind of infrastructure that the college is providing for every one of you. You know, the kind of state-of-art facilities that they have. I mean, it's an amazing place to be educated. That's what it seems like. But more than all the actual facilities that are available, what really touched my heart was the fact that the founder, you know, the main principle under which this institution has been built is to be able to provide world-class education, not just for those who can afford, but those who cannot afford such education also. And that generosity and that humanness is what makes the college is very precious. And I'm sure that every one of you, they say, you know, in English there is a proverb. I hope I can speak both in English and Tamil. In the English matram pesradha vida, I'm sure all of you will understand. They say, well begun is half done. எந்த ஒரு வேலையை நம்ம நல்லா ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கோமோ அது ஆல்மோஸ்ட் பாதி கம்ப்ளீட் ஆன மாதிரி. All those students who have selected this college, it's a fantastic beginning. It is well begun. Because இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு infrastructure, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு vision இருக்கிற teachers and the chairperson, Sri Raghuram sir, the kind of vision that the college envisages for all of you is amazing. And I'm sure that you'll all do wonderfully well. I'm a playback singer, as all of you know, and I'm also a classical musician primarily. So before I speak anything more, romba pesradhukku munnadi, I think part is what is very close to my heart, and I'm sure all of you identify me more with the music, right? So I felt I should sing the song of Bharadiyar. Bharadiyar is kind of my most favorite patriotic poet because he is a visionary himself. ஒரு சொசைட்டி எப்படி இருக்கணும்ன்றத ரொம்ப அழகா அவருடைய பாடல்கள்ல he is explained so beautifully. And not just he's written about, for almost 36,000 songs he has composed in a span of 39 years that he's lived. He's a legend. And this particular song, I love it a lot because Bharadiyar talks about the importance of being a contributor. All of us are born with a certain talent and certain skill, but at the end of the day, you need somebody to help you hone those skills. Those skills need to be realized. That latent potential in us need to be nurtured and realized. Adukku we definitely need people with a vision, institutions with such vision. So here is Bharadiyar's song. நல்லதோர் வீணை செய்தே அதை நலம் கெட பொழுதில் எரிவதுண்டோ சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி என்னை சுடர்மிகும் அறிவுடன் படைத்து விட்டாய் நல்லதோர் வீணை செய்தே அதை நலம் கெட பொழுதில் எரிவதுண்டோ சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி என்னை சுடர்மிகும் அறிவுடன் படைத்து விட்டாய் நல்லதோர் வீணை செய்தே அதை நலம் கெட பொழுதில் எரிவதுண்டோ வல்லமை தாராயோ வல்லமை தாராயோ இந்த மாநிலம் பயனுற வாழ்வதற்கே சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி நிலச்சுமையன வாழ்ந்திட புரிகுவையோ நல்லதோர் வீணை செய்தே அதை நலம் கெட பொழுதில் எரிவதுண்டோ. For those who don't understand Tamil, what is Bharatiya talking about? He says that, oh Shiva Shakti, oh Shakti, you have blessed me with so many skills. But then if I'm not going to be able to use those skills, and if I'm not going to be a contributor to the society using all those skills, what is the point of this life? I also saw that the tagline of PSNA is to be reinvent yourself every day, and not just that, they also believe in contributing to the society. Bharatiya talks about that. Yes, without being a contributor to the society, what's the point of life at all? So all of you who have joined this fantastic college, I'm sure you're all going to be great contributors in the future, because like they said, marks is not everything in a college. When you come to college, it is about how you're able to hone your skills, how you have a holistic understanding of how your particular field fits in the whole picture. That's very, very important to have. That is where this particular topic that they've given me today, Kalayum, Kalviyum, arts and education. It's such a beautiful field. And in fact, I'm going to talk to you about this with my own experience, because, you know, I started singing it at the age of probably 2, and I've been learning music since the age of probably 2, because my mother was a musician herself. So I kept listening. I had all these, you know, inputs from my mother, and I started learning very early, and I'm still learning music. I mean, there's no end to learning, is there? You know, because knowledge is like an ocean, you know, and how much ever you learn, it's just like those drops. But every drop makes the ocean. So that's why it's important that each one of us hone our particular skills and be contributors. Of course, when your professor was talking about education in college, how it is very different from school. Pretty much in school, I think we are all spoon-fed. You know, the class teacher comes, you know, the portions is covered, you have exams, and you know, they everything is pretty much taught to you as to how to do, you know. But when you come into college, it's not about, you know, just being taught. There is no class teacher who comes and teaches a subject. It's like you love the subject. In fact, let me tell you my experience, how it was when I went abroad to study. I had finished my BA music. I was a gold medalist. I finished my MA music in Madras University. Again, I was a gold medalist. And I went to do another master's in world music, which is called ethnomusicology in America, in Wesleyan University, which is situated in Connecticut. It is up north. So I thought, Siri, masters, you know, I'm a student. I mean, I've been studying so long, you know, it should be easy. But to my surprise, when the particular, you choose your own subjects. You have to pass so many subjects to get a master's. So you decide when you want to finish how many subjects. If you want, you can take up even 8 subjects in one semester, and you can finish the course, which is spread out for 2 years in 1 year. So even what you want to study is determined by you. And what are the, other than the subjects that you have to study for your course, if you want, you can study subjects that are correlated to it, interdisciplinary, not exactly your field, but something that is away and still can be applied to your field. And those are the choices that you make on your own. Nobody tells you what to do. And when I went for the first class, it's when they announce, when a professor says that he's going to be giving this particular course for this semester, you go and check out what the course is, and then he will give you on the entire semester, all the dates and any topic is going to be covered in each class. Every week you have a class, and then in each class, what is the topic that they are going to cover, and what is the reading that you should have done to come into that class. It is not that the teacher is going to be well prepared and come and talk about the subject. You are supposed to actually reference several books, be very familiar with what the teacher is going to talk about, and then you have a healthy discussion about that particular topic. This is what education is, where it is not, when you love something, you love knowing many, many, many things about it. Education should be like, it's a joy, when you start learning more. It is like the more you discuss, the more you're able to understand the topic and just go in depth. So that is what college education is about, where you're passionate about something. But yes, I'm sure all of you are saying, come on, everybody also wants to enjoy college life. You want to make new friends. Yes, college life is also about skills. Social skills are very, very important, especially in today's world. You have to be able to communicate ideas. You have to be able to collaborate with people. All these social skills and emotional skills are very, very important for your success in your particular field also. Yes, make a lot of friends, have a good time. And especially இப்போ COVID இருக்கிற காலத்துல நிறைய online classes இருக்கிறதுனால, online classes are a big challenge, let me tell you. Because I mean, to sit in front of a computer, you are responsible for yourself, right? Nobody is actually checking. In fact, I have 2 boys, and one of my boys is in 12th standard, and he tells me, if he gets bored, all he needs to do is pretend that the screen is frozen and the teacher thinks that you're not connected, and then you can go on to any chat and do anything that you want. Well, if you want to beat the system, there are 100 ways by which you can beat the system. But all you have to remember is that, whom are you cheating? You're cheating yourself. After all, you're paying a lot of money to study, and you have these teachers who have spent a lot of time in that particular subject preparing to teach you. And so if you don't want to listen, and if you don't want to focus, at the end of the day, it is your loss. So I think in the online education is forcing us to be more and more responsible, because unwavering attention and undivided attention and unwavering focus is really important. In fact, my son tells me that sometimes, when the teacher is very brilliant, all you need to do is focus in that particular class, and then you don't need to really work very hard. When you sit with your book, you assimilated so much of what the teacher said that it's very, very easy to revise. So there should be a good balance. Yes, it's very, very difficult to sit watching a TV monitor and trying to focus. Imagine the teacher, நேரா பார்த்தாலே யாரு படிக்கிறாங்க, யாரு focus பண்றாங்கன்ற, it's very difficult to follow. And then you don't know whether the students are getting you, because you're not seeing them in person. The personal rapport that is established is very, very important, especially between educators and, students. And all that is kind of a disadvantage, and we hope that very, very soon we'll be able to go into classrooms and enjoy the presence of a teacher and have lots of fun with our students and our colleagues. Yeah. So now coming to my topic, music. I'm going to talk about music and education. Actually, a lot of neuroscientists have done extensive research about music and education. Do you know that children, newborn babies who are exposed to music, classical music in any form, maybe Carnatic, Hindustani, Western classical, from the age of 1 to 7.5, almost 7, under 7 years, if you expose your child to classical music, their IQs are almost 20% more. They can be increased by 20% more. An average IQ of like 100 points, and a genius is about 130. But you can really increase your IQ level. How come? Because they say that when a newborn or a poranda koranda, how it processes its mother's language, அம்மா பேசுறது எப்படி அதுக்கு கேட்கறதுன்னா, how it processes, the brain processes the language in the form of music. And music, especially when you listen to classical music, it's like a full brain workout. Why? Because both your left brain and the right brain, several portions of your left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, they start working like, it's like almost fireworks happening all through your brain. It is like a full brain workout when you listen to classical music. And they say that musicians, people who have been spending time learning music, at least for a minimum of 2 to 3 years, classical music, they are able to process information much faster. And apparently, because the bridge between the left and the right hemisphere is very developed, and therefore the flow of information from the left to the right brain and all your neural networks, the information flow is much faster. This is all not me saying it. It is all the neuroscientists and their findings. They use a lot of fMRI scanners, PET scanners, and to study how the brain functions when there are these musical impulses. For one, I was a science major till I studied in a CBSE. Padma Seshadri was my school, and I studied in a CBSE school. And I was the topper in biology, and I in fact got my admission into medical college. And for most part, I was the school used to keep sending me to a lot of competitions. In fact, the 12th standard I wrote only the model exams because I was so busy giving kacheris and participating in competitions that I didn't write a single midterm, half-yearly, nothing. And the school made it possible for me to have independent practical exams given. And final exams, probably, those two months or 3 months, I just slogged, and I was an aggregate of 94.6 was my aggregate in CBSE. So I just think that music, especially classical music, it kind of, they say that when you listen to classical music, it is the kind of functions, auditory, visual, as well as cognitive, all at the same time are functioning very well in your brain. And these skills are very important, especially for learning. And the music level, one thing about music is that the more number of, it actually encourages you to keep practicing. See, for everybody, when there is no fear of a particular result, sometimes it is more easy to invest energy. It is more easy to try new things because there is no sense of, that I might fail. It is just that investment of energy, and that involvement, that engagement with something for a longer period of time, that itself kind of improves your ability to focus. If you have to learn a song or if you have to learn a raga, you have to listen to hours of it. That kind of one-pointed focus, it helps you focus in any subject that you want to study. And the way music is constructed, classical music especially, if you learn from the beginning, there are patterns, there are designs, there are certain ways in which your memory functions. You have visual, you attach visual things to the memory. When you're learning musical, like every song, you see, will have a pattern. If you say chinna chinna aasai siragadikum aasai ta 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 ta, every song will have these modules. They will have these patterns. They'll have these late motifs. All these small modules, they come together to form different patterns. And in different permutations and combinations, when you combine these patterns, they are your different melodies. Now, when you learn music, you kind of, you learn to see designs, and you learn to memorize thousands of designs and keep it in different parts of your mind by tagging it. They say brain mapping. You know, when you study, you kind of map that particular subject in different ways, in different visual ways. So music kind of lets you do that. So it's kind of the way your memory works when you know music. It's amazing. And since the mind, the way music is processed in the head is very similar to how language is processed. That is why you will see many musicians can sing. I have sung in 13 different languages. Now, how is that possible? How I can speak 5 languages? I can speak Hindi, I can speak English, Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, of course, Tamil. Because I think, you know, when you learn to process music, then you're able to process many things, because of the simple fact that music uses both the left brain and the right brain. There are very few activities that actually use the entire brain. So music in that sense, you know, it not only gives you focus, it helps you decode various things. It helps you memorize and keep it in so many things, you know, endlessly can be stored. You ask me, I remember about like 2000, 3000 songs, you know. How does all this happen? And especially when you do it very early in your life, it kind of becomes a methodology, an inbuilt methodology. So anything is possible. And especially when you're performing in a group, it gives you a lot of collaborative skills. It gives you the ability to communicate. It gives you the ability to make adjustments based on other people's plus points and minuses. Now, these are all what we need in a group setup when you're doing a research work, when it is a collaborative effort. Your ability to create, to be able to communicate, to collaborate, and then to be able to fit in the whole plan is what is most important. So, in fact, art education in Europe, in the West, is huge. You know, even in college level, I don't know why. In our school levels, instrumental music is not as much encouraged, as much as vocal music, but definitely music should be part of the curriculum. Any classical form of art, I think, should be part of the education curriculum right from childhood to even college. Why college? See, music, the other thing, during COVID times, everybody tells us, you know, you need to have a peaceful mind. You don't, you know, so that you're not agitated about small illnesses. And, you know, a good mind is a key to the healthy body, right? So they tell you about yoga. They tell you about how you do different, you know, physical exercises. Now, music is such a brilliant yoga, because every time you breathe in and breathe out, it's like pranayama. You know, you learn how to retain a lot of oxygen in your lungs, a lot of oxygen in your brain. And, you know, the scientists always talk about this alpha state, you know. Would you believe that if I told you that if you practiced classical music, you know, for quite some relative amount of time, that your mind automatically gets into this alpha state? And what is this alpha state? Where you're highly aware, where it is your maximum potential can be realized. Your most creative, your most intuitive abilities are all heightened. And if whenever you are in any classical form of art form that you practice, you very easily get into the alpha state. And obviously, you know, you can be much more productive, isn't it? So I think, you know, arts, it's a very important part of growing up. In fact, many of you would have experienced that when you listen to music, sometimes, you know, you could be really in a very angry mood. You could be very sad, even if you're very joyous. Any mood, you know, you can switch your mood by listening to music. Music has that hold on your brain activity. And therefore I would insist and suggest that all of you latch on to some kind of classical art music, because that will really, really help hone your skills even in education. You will be very, very high achievers. Believe me. I mean, I've seen it myself. Yeah, I'm not just advocating something. It's just something that I have experienced. And the other thing, of course, about education, you know, that like they say, this college especially, I heard that 1071 people have been placed, you know, and almost 88 institutions, 88 very popular firms have visited the college. So definitely employability is no doubt, you know, but how successful you're going to be is entirely going to depend upon how you relate to your knowledge and how you're going to use that knowledge yourself. Now, my husband is he was an engineer, mechanical engineer, and he did his MBA from IIM Calcutta. But he was a child prodigy who started playing the violin at the age of 7. He was giving concerts, and now he's a full-time accomplished classical musician. He's a great teacher. So, see, when you acquire skills, you know, all skills, it helps you develop holistically in any field you choose to take up. Many engineers now are doing something that is totally unrelated to their fields, right? So that is why it is very, very important. Like in the campus, there are so many facilities available. There is a robotics club. There are so many different clubs. Make sure that if you're interested in any one of these activities, you take part in them, you know, you keep an open mind when you come into college, so that because labeling yourself that I like this, I don't like that, I do this, I don't, it kind of limits you. Like I always say, you know, when a book is not made into a movie, you know, there are so many adaptations like Harry Potter or you know, the Three Idiots, which is an adaptation of Chetan Bhagat's book. When you actually visualize and a picture is made out of a story, then it kind of fixes the characters. You know, all the characters will now, you know, the Harry Potter will always look the same. He has those things, you know. But when you don't crystallize a particular book in the form of a visual, there are innumerable possibilities in how each person thinks about that particular story. Each person's Harry Potter can be different. Each person's, wizard can be different. Each person's idea of how a place looks can be so different. So there are innumerable possibilities if you don't label yourself. நான் இதுதான் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படின்னு லேபிள் பண்ணாம இருந்தா, because I started out as a Carnatic musician. At the age of 12, I was performing concerts all around. I started singing. I was singing all over India. Then, but you know, there came a time in my life after I went and did my masters in world music, and I came back. I had the opportunity to sing for none other than the Oscar Puyal, the Oscar famous Rahman sir, and I had never dreamt of being a playback singer, you know, and I had never dreamt in my life that I would ever sing a Dapanguttu song. You know, I've sung some of the most popular Dapanguttu songs like Abdi Pode, 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 or Oh Pode, so many songs, so many folk songs. Karpata enakku pidicha colour. And I've sung like Opari songs like Endi Sudamani Kadal Valiya Paarthadundodi. But I've also sung many melody songs like, Lalam Lalam Mariya Aval. Or say maybe a very rustic number like Kaatachirke, Kaatachirke, Kaatachirke. And very divine songs like Andendra Malayile Kilangal Nanayave Adirupan Thonrinane. Now, if I thought that I was only a classical musician, then I kind of limit myself. I limit myself in my head that I can't do other things. But when you don't limit yourself and you leave an open-ended, you have an open-ended vision as to, yes, this is also good. Always take the good in many things, yeah? So when you're able to see the good things in many different things, of course, you need to have a focus. That I'm going to be a singer is my primary focus. But what I can sing, I left it to destiny to unfold. And when many things came across, I was also I did a pop album named Chennai Girl, where I penned 11 and 10 songs and composed it and also performed the song. I started dancing for my songs. Now all that was, how that's what the college talks about. Reinvent yourself every day. It's so important that you don't fall into, don't say na idudha ennaal idudha panna mudiyum. It's I think it limits you, you know. It is, after all, you are a manifestation of that endless power that God is. Yeah. So there is nothing that is impossible for you. So if you put your mind to it, you can probably assimilate from so many different fields and still be the best that in what you want to do. So it's not more of an advice. And the final thing, of course, I know Nariya parents are probably also watching this along with your kids. One very important thing I think is never to compare. I have been a part of music reality shows for the last probably 2 decades. 20 years I've been telling kids sharing my experience with kids as to how they can improve and how they can get better at their own game. Sometimes, parents have to realize that ஒரு விரல் மாதிரி இன்னொரு விரல் இல்ல. Each finger, and each fingerprint is different. Every one of us is born unique. Every one of us have unique skills, and we might function differently. அவன் எப்படி படிக்கிறான் பாரு, நீ எப்படி படிக்கிற பாரு. Don't do the comparison. Somebody might need to spend 10 hours to learn one particular thing. Another person might be able to learn it in 3 hours. Or somebody might like a particular topic in a particular field. Somebody might like to branch out and do something different. And somebody's vision might be totally different from how your child thinks about it. I think every parent needs to trust their own child. நம்மளே நம்ம குழந்தைய ட்ரஸ்ட் பண்ணலன்னா, நம்மளே நம்ம குழந்தையோட பொட்டன்ஷியல் இருக்குன்னு பிலீவ் பண்ணலன்னா, how? Because the child's self-esteem is very, very important. And child self-esteem and confidence comes from only those people that he looks up to. The parents are a very important in a child's life, and the teachers who are the role models for them, they look up to you. So it is very, very important. Never negate, never put down any child. Sometimes in a classroom, when a professor asks a particular question, somebody might be very enthusiastic and come up with an answer which may not be exactly, it might probably not be related to it, but you never put that down. You never make fun of it. You just tell them that, well, it's possible. Probably we can think about it in a different way. It's always important, because nobody takes to criticism very happily, not even adults. When you tell somebody இது நல்லா இல்ல, நீங்க வேற மாதிரி எழுதி இருக்கலாம்னா, it takes a lot of time to the ego, that you think you did a good job, but the person who's evaluating you thinks, whom you look up to thinks it's not that great. It takes some time. But if you want the student to really improve, then you never put down the student. You always encourage the student and tell them, yes, but can you look at it from this way? Because the moment you accept somebody, the mind is very free. The mind is very happy. The brain is ready to receive information. The moment you put down somebody, the brain shuts off. So anything that you say after that, that person is never going to receive. That's why many people ask me, நீங்க ரொம்ப like a motherly-ஆ நீங்க எப்பவுமே பேசுறீங்க. ஏன்னா குழந்தைங்க தானே, even if you're a 16-year-old, கஷ்டப்பட்டு ஒரு பாட்டு லேர்ன் பண்ணி, somebody works so hard to execute a song, and the first thing you say is, it was not that good. My God, how you really crash that person's efforts. You never do that to somebody. You just say, immediately you try to see what was good about that. Try to say that, oh, your voice is beautiful, your selection of the song was so beautiful, your presence of mind was so beautiful. First, you admire the person for some good. Everybody has good qualities, so admire those good qualities, and then you address what is not correct about it or what can be better. And then you find that students are much more receptive. They are able to accumulate and assimilate what you're saying and put it to practice. But in the first instance, முதல்ல எடுத்த உடனே தப்பு சும்மா உட்காருக்கு அப்படின்னா, you know, every student is brilliant in my opinion. It is just you need the teachers to, that is why we send kids to college, so that the teachers are able to find that latent potential and hone those skills. And not just the teachers, I also think students, when you have other students, you know, you can always take it as a challenge to do something that somebody else has taken up. You know, you get motivated by other people, other ideas, and then you come up with your own. So college and all is it should be a fun learning place where you rediscover yourself, not just in terms of education, as a human. You redefine your perspectives in life. You redefine values. You make such beautiful friends and you have such beautiful relationships that kind of make you a whole person. Education is not just about math and just getting the marks. Yes, finally at the end of the day, you know, your grade points and the marks are what are going to matter. But let me tell you, people who actually invest their energies in understanding a subject, they go a much longer way. They are much happy individuals. I always say, you know, nariya per they come to sing. Sometimes some of the most talented singers don't get very good opportunities, but then they are very happy individuals, because, you know, when you practice, I don't know how many of you follow tennis. One of the tennis stars, Andre Agassi, who's married to Steffi Graf, his father used to tell him, anybody who puts in 10,000 hours of hard work on a particular subject is bound to succeed. So when you work so hard, nobody can take your hard work away. People can take away positions. You might not get as promoted as somebody. You might not get as much salary as somebody. But you know that you know the subject. Nobody can take away your knowing of any subject. And that is what empowers somebody. Anybody who is just successful without knowing the subject knows that he doesn't know it. And, you know, internally, he can never be actually that happy. It is actually the true knowing that relieves you, that frees you from sadness, and it always keeps you very, very happy. So having said so much, do try and learn some classical music. Spend some time with music, even as you're studying. Let me tell you that these two, the ways in which music can actually make you achieve higher and keep you in a very serene and happy state at all points in time. After all, peace is the most important thing in life. Yeah, money, success, all that can be there, and you might still not be peaceful and happy. What is the point of all that if you're not peaceful and happy, right? So learn knowledge for knowledge's sake, and you will be a very, very happy person. And arts plays a very, very important role in keeping you in that serene place, in that peaceful place. So on this day, I seek God's grace for all of you, budding, aspiring students, that you will succeed in whatever you choose to succeed, and you will be such fantastic contributors to the society. You will take pride in your culture. Be proud that you're born in this land, a land that understands everybody as, you know, one. There are, like the great Ramana Maharishi says, there are no others. You, the other person, and you, there is no difference. It is the same energy that is manifest. People who know about, you know, Einstein, the great scientist, when he was not working on formulas, he was always working on his violin. So much so, you know, for music and science. We all know about E is equal to mc square. We know where it is, mass is nothing but, you know, energy vibrating, you know, all these atoms and molecules vibrating in a bound together, vibrating in different frequencies, yeah, that form the different forms of matter. So essentially we are all the energy, the same energy. So once we relate to each other as one, then, you know, there are no others. So there will be no evil in the society, right? So I wish you all a very wonderful 4 years in this particular PSNA, and hopefully I will get an opportunity to personally meet with the professors and be part of the faculty, sometime come and visit the faculty. Good luck to all of you. And I'm sure all of you would probably want me to sing something I'd love to sing Anbendra Marele, because love is the only major force, right, that binds all of us. And here it is. அன்பென்ற மழையிலே அகிலங்கள் நனையவே அதிரூபன் தோன்றினானே, வைக்கோலின் மேலொரு வைரமாய் வைரமாய் வந்தவன் மின்னினானே, விண்மீன்கள் கண் பார்க்க சூரியன் தோன்றுமோ புகழ் மைந்தன் தோன்றினானே, கண்ணீரின் காயத்தை செந்நீரில் ஆற்றவே சிசுபாலன் தோன்றினானே, அன்பென்ற மழையிலே கிளங்கள் நனையவே அதிரூபன் தோன்றினானே, கல்வாரி மலையிலே கல்லொன்று பூக்கவும் கருணை மகன் தோன்றினானே, நூற்றாண்டு இறைவினை நொடியோடு போக்கிட புகழ் மைந்தன் தோன்றினானே, இரும்பான நெஞ்சிலே ஈரங்கள் கசியவே சிசுபாலன் தோன்றினானே, முட்காடு எங்கிலும் பூக்காடு காணவே புவிராஜன் தோன்றினானே, रोशन हुई रात वो आसमां से गुजर के ज़मीं पे आया, वरिचेल मेरुपुलो वज्रमय रत्नमय वच्चे वलपंटी वाडे. Thank you so much again for this wonderful opportunity. I hope to see you all sometime soon in the campus. Vanakkam. Thank you again.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving a scintillating start to our student induction program. What a fusion. As you said, ma'am, things well begun are half done. Ma'am, excuse me. I think our audience wants you to sing one more song.
What song? What song would that be?
Ma'am, anything your favorite? We love all your songs.
Okay. காட்டு சிறுக்கி காட்டு சிறுக்கி மழை கொடுப்பாளோ இடி இடிப்பாளோ மாயமாட் போவாளோ, யாரோ எவளோ யார் காட்டு சிறுக்கியோ, மழை கொடுப்பாளோ இடி இடிப்பாளோ மாயமாட் போவாளோ, தண்டை அணிஞ்சவ கொண்ட சரிஞ்சது வண்ட சராசரம் போச்சு, வண்ட தொடாமோன் கண்டவனாந்தரும் வாங்கத தருமூச்சு, காட்டு சிறுக்கே ஈக்கு மின்னல் அடிக்குதடி அத்தை ஈர கொல்ல துடிக்குதடி, அத்தை ஈக்கு மின்னல் அடிக்குதடி ஈர கொல்ல துடிக்குதடி, நச்ச மனம் மச்சினையோடு மருகுதடி, அவனத்தையில் வச்ச பொட்டல என் நெஞ்சாங்குழியே பொட்டுதே, அவனத்தையில் வச்ச பொட்டல என் நெஞ்சாங்குழியே பொட்டுதே, அவ பார்வையில் இரும்பு கபல் பொடியாச்சு, காட்டு சிறுக்கு மழை கொடுப்பாளோ இடிப்பாளோ மாயமாட் போவாளோ. That's that.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our request immediately. Would you mind giving us one more Karupatha enakku pidicha color, if you don't mind?
All right. கருப்புத்தா எனக்கு பிடிச்ச கலரு, அவ கண்ணு ரெண்டும் என்ன மயக்க 1000 watts power. கருப்பு தான் எனக்கு பிடிச்ச கலரு. சாமி கருப்பு தான், சாமி தலையும் கருப்பு தான், யானை கருப்பு தான், கோப குயிலும் கருப்பு தான், என்ன ஆசைப்பட்டு கொஞ்சம் போது புத்திர மீச கருப்பு தான், அசத்து கருப்பு தான், கருப்பு தான் எனக்கும் பிடிச்ச கலரு. அவ கண்ணு ரெண்டும் என்ன மயக்கும் 1000 watts power. கருப்பு தான் எனக்கு பிடிச்ச கலரு.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome,
Love
ma'am.
your voice.
Thank you.
Ma'am, as you said, things well begun are half done. We have a feeling that our program is well begun with your wonderful presentation. It was
Thank
so
you, ma'am.
lively and lovely.
Thank you.
I'm sure the auditorium would have echoed with thunderous applause and hootings from our students. Had it been on site, we would love to have you on campus once, ma'am.
Sure, definitely, sometime soon.
Anyways, on behalf of the entire team of Psna College of Engineering and Technology, I'll once again thank you for giving a brilliant start to our program. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Vanakkam. Thank you.
Next, I invite my esteemed colleague, Mrs. P. Elizabeth Kalpana, Assistant Professor from the Department of English, to explain in detail about Introduction to the Diagnostic Test, which you will be taking this afternoon. Over to Mrs. Elizabeth Kalpana.
Good morning to all. I'm really happy to meet you all this morning. On behalf of Psna College of Engineering and Technology, I welcome all the students once again, and I'm really happy to meet all the brilliant, enthusiastic, vibrant students this morning. And I think you might think why you need to take up the test on SIP. Yes, this is an induction program, but you might think why you need to take up the test. So I am here to explain you why you need to take up this diagnostic test. So this will be a very small session. So just stay with me. I'll explain you. Okay. So when I start, I would like to raise a question to you like, do you know which is a highly spoken language across the world? Do anyone know that? Can anyone know that which is the highly spoken language? There are many languages people speak across the world, right? But which is the highly spoken? Yes, it is. Yes, it is Chinese. Which is the highly spoken language in the world? It is Chinese language because 1.3 billion native speakers speak Chinese language. China is the highly populated country, so people speak Chinese and it is considered like highly spoken language. And which is the widely spoken language across the world? Do you know that? Definitely the widely spoken language is English. Do you know why? 37 million native speakers speak English language. So you might think, I'm an engineering student. Why should I learn English? Why should I take up this diagnostic test? So I'll help you. I'll explain you why you need to take up the test because English is an international language for communication, and you need to learn the language properly. It is not only an international language, it is otherwise called as a lingua franca. The entire world calls English language as a lingua franca. You know why? Because 350 million people around the world speak English as their first language, and 430 million people speak English as their second. Really lucky to learn English as your second language from your school days, right? So you might think, even in college, should I learn English? Definitely. To go to the next level, to get a very good placement, to meet people, to make communication very easy. So you need to learn English. And I'll tell you what the English is going to do in your life. See, if mastery over English language is like possessing a treasure of magic wand with 26 letters, which can make you to win all the challenges you face in the path of success. What is a magic wand? What do you do with a magic wand? Let me tell you, who will have a magic wand in the hand? Either a fairy or a witch or a wizard will have a magic wand in the hand. What do they do with a magic wand in the hand? If they want to live a life like a king, they'll create a palace. If they want something to be done, they will create and do that with a magic wand. So same like that, this language will take you to all the levels of success. It is more like a magic wand. It is more like a magic wand. So you have to have that magic wand to reach all the fields, to rock all the industries, to be the rock star of the world. So I'll tell you what is the role that English is playing across the world. Why do we need to learn English? Because it is a language of science, it is a language of aviation, computers, diplomacy, politics, media, art, and tourism. And it is not only a global language. When people meet across the world, they speak English. It is considered as a standard language to communicate. All the scientific papers, records, research are written in English language, and media and industry wholly depend on English language. And what we have at hand now, the internet, that is in English. I know that optional you have got many languages, but the common language is English. Everybody thinks that that's a better platform to communicate. That's a better platform to learn. And one who have learned English as a medium has gone to the next level of success. You know, if you see a tea seller in his tea shop, even though he has mentioned it is a tea in a vernacular language or in his native language, he would also mention that it is a tea. Tea is sold there. So if a shopkeeper uses English as a medium to reach the people, to sell his tea, why not engineers use English language to reach the world? So that is what we all believe. This English is a medium. It's a platform that will take to the next level of success. And it is one of the most important languages. Even when you travel across the world, when you meet people, when you are in entertainment, when you are in the world of entertainment, when you play games, you know, the game summary, that is in English. And the report, when you want to do a research, and everything now it is easily accessible through the medium of English language. And most importantly, you can access to multiple culture wherever you go. You can feel at home. Even when you fly to Rome, you go to somewhere else, east, west, north, and south. It is a standard language. So you can easily travel, you can communicate, you can feel at home. And this is a very, very important point. Hope you all could see this slide. And let me tell you, English increases your chances of getting a good job in multinational company. It is an important for socializing, entertainment, and to get placed in top-notch companies. You know what is meant by a top-notch company? That will be your dream company. Am I right? So everybody wants to get placed in a good company, right? So this English language will get you the right placement, and you can get your dream job when you are able to communicate effectively what you are, who you are, what do you want to do, what you're going to do for the company. You should able to tell whatever you want to convey. But how do you convey? What is the idea you have? So let me tell you. How do you convey? What is a moli? Molina enna? Ennatin vartai vadivamda moli. When you have an idea, when you have a thought, you will have a lot of things to say. Like the idea will have clue, view, viewpoint, concept. And if you are thinking about a project thing, if you are thinking about some research, the idea will be with so many points. Like it will be the whole design. You can have it in your mind from the top till the last, all the area that you cover, be it an equation, be it a formula, be it a design that you created, be it a program that you form, you only know what the idea you have. So you have got something creative in your mind, but how do you deliver your idea? How do you deliver it? Even though you're ready to deliver, see the image, you're not able to deliver the 100% of your idea because of the barriers. See, when you think that you could speak really good English, the English in your mind will be like a big dinosaur and you think that you could deliver it successfully. But the reality is, you will be dumbstruck then and there if you don't have words to convey things properly. See the next image, that English I speak. It's like a mini dinosaur image. Where do we get this kind of an image? When you access to the internet, when you are not connected with the internet, you get this image. Am I right? So it will say that you're not connected. Likewise, if you're not connected with English, you cannot connect your ideas. You cannot deliver your creativity. You cannot, You cannot take your ideas to the next level. So that is how you should learn communication. So how do you learn communication? Now it is very clear that you have to deliver what the idea you have. So you have to deliver what is the creativity you have in your mind. So now I'm going to tell about breaking the barriers. I know you all are born to win. You all are born to break the barriers and move on in your successful journey. See, so what are all the breaking things that you should do? It is a shyness, fear, criticism, fear of committing mistakes, and most importantly, lack of communication skills. What kind of a fear? What kind of a communication? Let me tell you. Fear of committing mistakes, fear of meeting people, fear of delivering. Why there is a lack of communication and why do you get the fear? If you don't have the confidence in your language, if you don't have the confidence in your grammar, if you don't know how to frame the proper sentences, you cannot have the communication skills. But all these barriers could be broken and you can move on to the next level. That will also I'll tell you, okay? How do you break the barriers? With the 6 C's that I'm going to tell you. When you learn all the 6 C's, you can easily break the barriers and you can get placement very easily. What are the 6 C's? That your language should be clear, concise, correct, complete, courteous, concrete. Why do I say all these things? For example, if you're listening to your HR's instruction or any higher official instruction and it is not audible, you cannot just like that ask, what did you say? That is impolite way of asking your higher official. Then how do you ask him? Pardon? Could you please tell me? Could you please repeat the sentence, sir? So that is the way you have to ask. So being courteous, being kind, being polite in your communication is very important. You may become a boss of a company, but polite way of communication will make you feel that you are among the elite people, okay? And the language should be correct. So you have to learn grammar. You have to learn how to frame proper sentences. Then your language will be complete and you can easily overcome all the barriers and achieve your dreams like what you see in your image. And now I'm going to tell. So now I have conveyed like how you could learn English. And one more thing I would like to tell you, why English is needed. The final conclusion point is like English is needed for your placement, to get placed in your dream company. That is the utmost thing that I would like to tell you. And learning English is like adding a feather on your cap. So when you learn English, you will not beat around the bush. You will be very clear in explaining your ideas. So the Department of English and Psna College of Engineering and Technology, we have organized this diagnostic test for your self-evaluation. What does mean by diagnostic? You might think when you go to a doctor, he diagnoses what is the problem you have. Am I right? So what do he diagnose? Whether any deficiency is there or where you should be treated. So likewise, this diagnostic test will help you to self-evaluate. You can evaluate yourself. You can try to know where you are lagging, like whether you have to improve your grammar, whether you have to improve your speaking, whether you have to improve your listening. Likewise, this diagnostic test is for your self-evaluation. And most importantly, don't think this test and marks and grade is like, don't fear for the test. This test, you can take it with an open-minded, with full concentration, in a happy mode, you can take the test. With this grade or a mark, we are not going to analyze you. We are not going to segregate you. We are not going to judge you. But it will help us a lot to give a better focus on the area that you really need. So this diagnostic test, what we are going to do is, it will really help you to learn English language in a comfortable comfortable environment and academic experience, and you can also achieve successful placement record. So only for the successful placement record, you're giving this test. So you will also analyze this where you need to improve. And this test is full of multiple choice questions. So you need not write paragraphs, essays, you need not fear like you need to write so many things. It's not like that. So all the questions, it will be in multiple choice, and the time of taking the examination is 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. The duration is 1 hour, and marks, it is for 100. So you're going to take up the test. The link will be shared to you through your WhatsApp group 10 minutes before the commencement of the exam. And what are all the components? See, you can see the screen. Definitely, you will have 10 components. Listening comprehension, there will be an audio to listen, and you have to listen to that audio, and you have to do the fill in the blanks and answer the questions. It is all multiple choice, so you need not worry. Even the choice will be given, you have to choose the right option. Tense, voices, regular, irregular verbs, different forms of adjectives, correct and incorrect spelling. See, spelling is also there. You know, if you are very confident, we likely to commit mistakes in spelling. So be very careful when you're doing the spelling. And correct and incorrect sentences, articles, prepositions, synonyms, antonyms, and reading comprehension. So these are all the components for your diagnostic test. And take up the test happily. And I would like to remind you of the quote of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Don't take rest after your first victory, because if you fail in second, more lips are waiting to say that your first victory was just a luck. So never let people to say that your success is just by a luck. Every day you have to maintain a track record of your success report, and every day you should have a success report. So I know you know that I taught you 6 C's to learn English. With that, I will add one more C to you. You know what is that C? That C is called concern of the college, concern of PSNA CET. We have got a lot of concern on you. So your communication will be an effective communication when you attend all the tests, attend all the classes, and be an active participation. Do you all understand? And this slide says that be the best version of you. So look into the adjective. It's not be a good version or a better version, but definitely be the best version of you. So you are born to achieve. So time and again, I'm telling you, like, you give the best to the test. Give the best to your academics. Give the best to the people around you, because best is what even the placement offices are in need. Best is what the MNC are in need. So when you have the best, then you are in their choice. So be the best version of you. And why you should be the best version, let me tell you. When you have the communication skills, nobody can sack you out of the job. Nobody can say that you are not worthy. You deserve the job because you've got good communication skill. If you have the skill, you can easily communicate and make people realize your worth. So you need to improve your language. So take up the test confidently, happily after your lunch, and attend all the questions. Don't skip any questions. Okay, so on behalf of Department of English and PSNA College of Engineering and Technology, may success be with you always. All the very best. Be on time. Take your test. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Elizabeth Kalpana, for briefing us the importance of the so-called global language English and the power of communication. My dear students, I hope you'll be ready for the test this afternoon. Before that, let us watch a small video clipping about our institution. Please do stay with us. So actually you can see the link for attendance scrolling in front of you in the live chat. Please post your attendance in that. Let us take a break for lunch and resume at 2 p.m. for the diagnostic test. Your department coordinators will help you with the test. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.